I am live, I think. My welder is loud. Cooling fan is loud. How's everyone doing? Is everyone here? Don't see why everyone's not already here. I mean, I gave you ample warning. A mere some minutes. This is going to screw me up. The text is over there, but the camera's over there. Crazy, crazy. I have a feeling like I'm going to kick this thing a lot today. That's probably not good. Yep, it can't be helped. Sorry. Hello, someone is here. Some number. Whoa, whole bunch of things. Hello, Paul. That is me. Hello. Hello, Robert. Hello, Mr. Rokashan's meanderings. Yes, I am here. I'll just chit chat for a minute, let some more people trickle in. I didn't give anybody a warning. Ben Toombs, hello. Josh is surprised. Good. He follows orders. Ex-recovery agent, hello. Thanks for the live. Yes, well, I figured this was better than not doing anything this week because I missed doing it something a couple weeks ago. I just don't have anything like for a full video. But I haven't done a live stream. I'm supposed to... I sort of promised myself I was going to do one live stream a month. So I guess this one's March. It's the middle of March. It's about time. Hola. More people chatting. Awesome. And a wave from someone. Can you say hello to my wife, Chelsea? Hello. Hello, Chelsea. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're safe during all this stuff. Yeah, doing pretty good. Not a lot of craziness going on where I live, which is nice. You know, the grocery stores got kind of busy, but they didn't like run out of stuff, which is nice. Not a lot of people here in this area, so, and not a lot of reason to come here. So we've been pretty lucky as far as like, you know, all that crazy stuff. Love your welding videos, almost went to your casting videos. Well, we're gonna do some welding today. Hello in Ireland. Hello. Do you have enough toilet paper? Yes. We I don't think the stores around here didn't run out, so we haven't had a problem. I always keep a little bit stocked up, you know, in case we have bad taco night or something like that. You're out here trucking, so yes, Mr. Rokashan is a truck driver, and he's still out there delivering food and stuff because we need that to live. Effect is perfect. Good. What are you welding today? Stop touching your face. I just coated my hands in acetone. I think they're pretty much dead. They're about to fall off. Today, I will be welding. I have some stuff here. Doesn't look like much. Just a couple of square tubes and some plate cut into certain shapes, and I got some things here, and I whipped out the TIG because I haven't used TIG in a while, and I want to make a stand to stand my bead roller, which is currently over there. So it's an Eastwood bead roller and it has a motor on the back, so it's pretty back heavy. You see, it has these holes up here. Those are bolt holes if you want to put it on like a mount, and they're perfectly balanced. So if you put the thing there, it balances the bead roller until you put the motor on the back, which you can't see because the logs. You still can't see it. There's a big motor on the back and it makes it tail heavy. So those holes it's going to be tail heavy, but it's okay. I designed a mount. So I'm going to have these two things here. This and this basically will form a T. That'll go on the ground. Okay, three points so it won't wobble. Coming up from the T then, I'll have this big rectangular tube up on here. And then on top of the tube will be this small piece. And then these two pieces, I got two of them. That side's clean. Will go on either side of that. The gap between them will be a 1/2 inch, which is how thick the bead roller, the blue steel bead roller is. And then I'll drill some holes and run the bolts in. Probably won't drill the holes, but I want to do the welding today for at least this one part. Does that make sense? Off camera, I did a bunch of grinding and cleaning. I also have a bunch more of this larger stuff, which I want to use for a stand for my English wheel here. Get this thing off the workbench. And then I want to make another stand. I designed another stand for metal brake that I have over there that you can't see because I moved the van into it. But I want to get all these sheet metal tools up off the ground and have kind of smaller stands so I can just move them into that corner back there when I'm not using them. So that'll get them up off the floor. It'll make them easier to use. It's hard to use a metal brake when it's on the floor. Like, that's really annoying. And this English wheel just kind of rocks back and forth. It's not even attached to the workbench. That's a real pain. So I figure if I get all these things up off the floor, then they won't be on the ground covered in dust and sand and crap. They'll last longer and they'll be easier to use, and that'll motivate me to actually make some cool sheet metal stuff. So that is my plan today. And while I've been talking, people have kept responding. Everyone is super sensitive about touching your face now. Looks like a T. It is a T. The bottom is a T. Yes, the van is part of it. See, there's a lot of sheet metal that needs to be done with that, and it's kind of a pain when your sheet metal tools aren't ready to go. But also, there's like a lot of other stuff that I want to make out of sheet metal, and a lot of other things that I want to add sheet metal to, because I have a bunch of other sheet metal tools that I haven't really used much, like the aircraft rivets and the dimple dies and all that kind of stuff. You love grapes. Grapes are good. Truckers bring grapes. Yeah, a whole truckload of grapes. No, I went to a gas station the other day. That's pretty close to where I live, and I was getting 2 gallons of milk, and like I wanted a bushel of bananas because my 3-year-old loves bananas. I said, "Hey, you got any bananas?" And she said, "No, some kid was in here and sneezed on our fresh fruit, so we had to throw all of it away." Like, wow. Yeah, no, you can keep the sick kid sneeze fruit, but still, that's got to suck, right? So I'm going to be welding with mismatched gloves because I couldn't find one of them. So this will be interesting. I also haven't used my TIG welder in quite a while. You have a truckload of potatoes. Potatoes are probably better starvation food than grapes. I think you can survive on potatoes for a long time. Do that to drill the holes first and then weld the holes out of alignment so the bolts don't line up. Good idea. Good plan. I actually don't really know how I'm going to do how am I going to do the holes? Probably going to stick a piece of paper on there and make a template, and then, center punch and drill. Once it's like stuck in place, then I'll have it tipped over and I'll run the drill press down so both holes line up. I think so. And then I need to go get bolts, because I don't have bolts that are like, I'll need like an 1.5 inch long bolt. Because the holes in the bead roller are actually threaded, which is nice. They're threaded, but I mean, I'm gonna need to run a bolt in and then put a nut on the end, regardless. Well, if the holes don't fit, I'll just drill the bead roller holes out bigger. Doesn't matter. And Big Dog Forge Tim, yes, Tim is here. Big Dog Forge. He does a lot of cool forging stuff. Forging is another thing I want to get back into. In part because I just scored a whole bunch of forgeable metal, and now that my heat treating furnace works, yeah, it's time to heat treat. I'm thinking, no matter what I make, I'm gonna heat blue it in the heat treat oven just because. Why not? Hardware stores are closed. Wow, that's terrible. Mine's open. Some of the customers are freaking out. They were freaking out before we had any cases. So yeah, I have nothing. I have no material here to practice and warm up. So I'm just gonna start. Sound good? I'm just gonna start working on the actual project before I practice or warm up. Is that a good plan? That's cool. Blue, yeah, the bluing looks really cool. I wonder if I might still have that chunk laying around here that I blew. Hold on a sec. Nope, I think it's gone forever. I've been picking up around here, which means I've lost everything. I don't know where it went, but it was blue and it was cool looking. Government said close everything but food and medicine. You're in Korea. I went to Korea recently. Full pedal, no regrets. Yep. I got my pedal. I'm using the pedal. I my welder came with a trigger. I never set it up. It's still in the box. Never tried to. Only used the foot pedal. So I'm gonna coffee up because shaking helps. You welded it to the van, didn't you? Not yet. I was thinking like, does this mean I'm gonna take every single nut and bolt, clean it up, and heat blue it before I put it on? I think it does. And I think I'm gonna heat blue the door handles and everything. Everything heat blue. If I could heat blue the fenders, I would, but I don't. The oven's too small. Can you imagine that? Like strip the whole frame down to bare metal, and then put it into a giant furnace and heat blue the whole thing, and then just clear coat it. That would be the coolest paint job ever. That would seriously be amazing. I think I needed heat bluing. That doesn't take that much heat. I could conceivably heat my garage that hot, right? The whole garage. And I know where to get the bricks. I bet you a few more of those foundry burners and I could heat this whole place up to 500 degrees. That would be really cool. It would probably just warp the crap out of all the sheet metal though. But hey, it's fun to dream. All right. Oh, my tripod's got my finger. I'm stuck. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so in the past, I'm gonna move the flammable bottle. I got yelled at last time I was welding with that out in the open. So I don't have a welding table yet, but I've gone to great pains here to make sure this workbench is flat. For a long time it was twisted, so everything I made up on here would rock. Well, I just went to great pains with like sighting sticks and a whole bunch of stuff to make sure this is flat now. It's a little bit cupped, so I guess it's not flat, and this will be like three-legged, so it's not going to rock anyway. But I don't care. So I'm gonna do it up like this. Get me a nice three-legged thingy. And the plan here actually, the plan here is to get those bolts will be straight above this part right here, and the back end will be here. So it's going to be back heavy significantly because of the motor in the back. So it'll be kind of centered over this, but leaning towards this really, really long protrusion, so it won't fall over backwards. That's my plan. If it doesn't work, I'll weld more junk onto this until it looks terrible but doesn't fall over. So I've already cleaned and acetoned this quite a lot. Of course, then I've touched it a lot, which probably ruined all that. But I guess I'll do some tacks. Where did my ground clamp go? There it is. So a question for everybody: tacking with a TIG welder. Do you tend to use the trigger and just, or do you ever use the foot pedal? And do you use filler rod or not? So I've seen a lot of times people don't use filler rod just for a quick, but I've never successfully been able to do that. Should I give it a shot anyway? Seems like, why not, right? It's only live and I can't edit it out if I catch everything on fire, so might as well do it. Let me just make sure this thing isn't on grind. That is set for MIG welding. That's not going to work. Get up with no filler. Usually just original metal. Yours doesn't have a foot pedal. Yeah, some of them don't. Heat the sheet metal before welded. I'm not going to do that. If I heat anything too much, I'm going to start my workbench on fire again. If I do that too many more times, I'm not going to have a workbench left. Stupid gloves. Your chat went away. Someone said something. Do not using filler. Won't wake. Have to stop and go find filler. Lift off arc. Interesting. This has a high frequency start. I've never tried the lift off. All right, well, I'm going to try it without filler, and if I need filler, the filler's right next to me, because I'm going to need it obviously later. Okay, I'm going to tack. Time for some tacks. Where's the foot pedal? There it is. Oh. And of course I stick the tungsten right away. Hang on, why didn't this darken? I think this mask is broken. Backup mask time. Actually, maybe I should measure this to make sure it's in the middle. Nah, close enough. Okay, attempt number 2. I'm gonna need a little more power. Weird, I had it set on 150. I thought that was enough. Okay, I'm gonna do another tack. Sunspots tomorrow. Yep, probably. I think fortunately, when these masks, when they don't auto darken, they still protect your eyes from UV. Because that, especially that mask I was using, is pretty shaded to begin with. Oh, that was not satisfying at all. Let's try this again. Can you guys see when I'm doing it? Leave in sun to recharge. Interesting. They only dim for convenience and ease of seeing. That's interesting. So the dimming part is not for protecting your eyes, like they always protect your eyes, because that's pretty cool. CR25s. I just bought a whole bunch of those. I got 2532s or something. I might need to go get some more. You see, there's too big of a gap there. It may not have cut that very well. So I fail at tack welding. My head blocks the weld. Okay, I will try to fix that. I'm just gonna clean up the filler rod here. Wonder if I can move. I'll just lower the camera, move it to the side maybe. You know, these filler rods, they look really clean, but when you pull them out, when you like run the acetone over them, you get like, whoops, you get really gross paper towel. That was a good trick. I forgot where I saw that. They said like fresh out of the bag, you still have to clean it. So, how's everyone's winter going? Is it just me, or did we have a pretty lame winter? Like, we didn't have much for cold or for snow. And last year we didn't have that much snow either, but it did get down to like 20, 30 below zero, which was nice. Well, like, not nice, but it was kind of cool. How much does it help? I don't know, but I've heard cleaning is very important for TIG welding. I'll just clean this up in the meantime. Pretty mild winter, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, we just didn't get a whole lot of nothing. So right now I got a gap here. I'm gonna use the filler rod to try to bridge the gap. You know, I got the puddle on either side, then it's gonna bridge the gap. Cold here in Missouri where you're at. Yeah, I mean it's kind of cold, but mud as far as you can see. Yeah, we had quite a bit of mud. We didn't have enough snow to really cause a ton of mud. Last year we had the ground was frozen solid, and then we got a lot of warm rain, and it melted all the snow, but the ground was frozen and flooded a whole bunch of people. 2 inches of snow every day. Wow. Wow, that's up in Minnesota? Oh, hey, Wood and Metal Workshop got here. Hello. Rid of as many impurities as you can. Yeah, and with this square tubing, it's really hard to clean inside, so I just didn't clean inside, so I hope that's not a problem today. So here we go. Going for attack with some filler rod. There. Bridge the gap a bit. Got the puddle going on each side and dab a little filler rod. Everyone's still healthy, I see. Yes, I'm healthy at the moment. Someone said, what's cold? It's been barely below zero in the Netherlands. What's the weather like in the Netherlands? You're pretty close to the sea, right? So it shouldn't be that cold. I mean, we got 30 below zero last year, 30 below zero Fahrenheit. Although I think 30 below Celsius and Fahrenheit aren't too far off from each other. It's probably about 0 Celsius here right now. All right, time for another. New 4 tacks, 1 in each corner. All right. So that's what I got. Not focus. I got some not so great, very out of focus tacks. Okay, I'm gonna test. I'm gonna test to see how stiff they are, how strong they are. Okay, they're holding. So I guess weld them up. Is that the official way to test? I hope so, because that's what I'm doing. And time to run a bead. Just kind of waiting for this coffee to kick in a little better. Starting to get warmer in the Netherlands. Ah, Harbor Freight Magnet. That's right. Do the tacks on the other side. Yeah, I got 2 on each side. I got 2 up here and then 2 underneath. So 4 tacks overall. 1 on each corner. Let's focus on that. It's the only way to test. Good. Not to test and then see if anyone notices if it's square. If anyone notices it's not square, I'm gonna make them do the next one for me. Because really, I don't care. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's gross. That looks gross. That is disgusting looking. Wow. Take a look at that. Ugh, that's terrible. I haven't done this in way too long. Way too long. That's fine. That's what grinders are for. More heat. Okay, cranked up the heat. I don't think I was pushing the pedal down very far anyway. Like just enough to get it to start welding together. But I don't think I got very good penetration. If it holds, it's good enough. Dang right. All right, round 2. Well, well, well. Enough undercut to make people cry, but better? Kinda? If it focuses? Hello, Chirpy. Preheat your steel. Yeah, I've heard of that too. This is pretty thick. I mean, this is, I think this is 1/8 inch thick, but man, that side's disgusting. This side's not as bad. Although it's kind of hard to see, but there's a lot of undercut. Angle the electrode toward the cross piece. Okay, so point it at this one, not this one. Because I'm gonna try getting in the corners now. And I'm afraid you're not going to be able to see this very easily because of the whole vise thing. I'm going to try to get in this corner. Can't sink enough amps into it. Can preheat it. Preheat the... Oh yeah, you can heat it with the torch. That's right. Forgot about that. What are we making? I'm making a stand for my bead roller. Undercut would suggest more than enough heat. Yeah, more than enough heat. Probably not. I didn't use enough filler rod. There's quite a gap there. I really need to use more filler, but I can't. I don't have the whole, like, I don't have that skill where as you're going through, you're feeding more rod. Like I mean, I can move the rod through my finger just fine, but I don't do that while I'm welding. Hello, the wolf. Welcome, welcome. Bead roller stand finally, yeah. And then I have metal for a English wheel stand, and I have well, I think I need more square tube, but I designed a metal brake stand also. TIG welding, yes. I'm gonna TIG weld. I think after this joint and the cross joint, I'm gonna try TIG brazing a bit also. What kind of beads are you making? Sad ones. All right, moving on. There we go. That's why you run MIG for now. Yeah, I'm much better at MIG, personally, but I'm much better at MIG because it's a lot easier, but that's why I'm doing TIG here. Huh, that's a little better. A little bit better. Can't really show you at the moment, but let's just trust it. You'd like to get TIG, but you don't have a TIG welder. I got an AHP. It's AHP Alpha TIG 200X. It wasn't that expensive. Alternate feeding and withdrawing more filler. Yeah, I can't. I don't have enough. I don't have enough hood time. Is it hood time they call it? I think it's hood. It's not seat time. That's the race car thing, right? Let's say you injure yourself and have to go to a hospital that's already overbooked. Our hospital's not. Not yet. Only 3 cases in my county. Still really hot metal. Yeah, it is very hot metal. Takes a lot of work to injure oneself in TIG. Yeah, I don't think I've injured myself in TIG. MIG I have. I've started a fire with MIG a couple times. Not good at feeding rod. You can cheat and use a larger rod. Yeah, maybe. This is 16th. This is 1/16 inch rod. I don't know if it'll focus, but that's all I got at the moment. Looking at the 200 ACDC TIG from Eastwood. I have an Eastwood MIG welder. Hold on, let me swap that. Come on, camera. Swap camera. That's my MIG welder. ACD, or it's a MIG 175. Very good. I recommend that for a MIG. Uh-oh. It just said stream interrupted. It's the last time I showed people something out of the other camera. That didn't work out. You got a Lincoln. Lincoln is good. Lincoln is probably better than AHP. AHP is Chinese made. Not sure what kind of supply chain. You were saying it's very good. Yeah, the MIG welder, the Eastwood MIG, I would recommend that as a budget MIG welder. I've talked to people that have had other budget MIG welders and they haven't had the same kind of experience. But everyone I've talked to with a MIG from Eastwood says they're pretty good for the money. They also have a pretty good return policy if it breaks. Lincoln, I think Lincolns are way better overall, but they're like triple the price. So you get what you pay for. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Okay. So there is the weld that I did in there. Doesn't look... Well, that corner you're seeing looks better than the corner I'm seeing. There's a hole in the other... Where is it? There it is. There's a hole over there. Lost your job Friday. Oh, man, that sucks. That really sucks. I did find time to stream. Yes. Yes, indeed. I've been told by the wife that I can't stream through dinner. I will have to stop. Better than my welding. Well, I don't know what your welding looks like, but mine doesn't hold all that well. Like I can do MIG welds that hold really well, or ones that look beautiful like the MIG like TIG, but if you just kind of they go tink and they break right apart. Because that's not my area of expertise. Hello, John Bruford. You have a great stomach ache? Too many grapes? Is that a thing? Andre, hello. COVID-19 is why you lost your job. That really sucks. You know, I get that. The whole like market's collapsing and people aren't working and they don't have money and they're not buying stuff and this it's rough. It's rough all along. Just don't the joint. What if I want to I'm going to test it. It's holding. It's okay. You see, I haven't stopped working this whole time. I think I'm considered essential. Like Wisconsin hasn't told everyone to stay home yet, but they said like restaurants and stuff close unless you're carry out or takeout or whatever. But uh, even like Pennsylvania published a list of like what should close and what shouldn't, and I'm considered like home equipment maintenance. So it's like people have to sit at home and eat at home and all that, right? Well, if your fridge breaks, all of your food goes bad. So if your fridge breaks, call me. I will go there. Your job is old retired guy. Well, you see, my boss is 72 and he's sitting at home. He's locked up at home with, and all of the going to people's houses to fix stuff is done entirely by me, because he doesn't want to get sick and bring it home to his wife. Someone said, 50 Tree Forge, greetings from Edgerton. You're not far from me. I'm in Janesville. I go to Edgerton all the time. West Virginia is safe. Yeah, for now. 5-pound mallet to any weld. That would be the test. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this last edge, and then I'm gonna bash this with my giant golden hammer. How about we'll do that? They closed the bars. Yeah, that is pretty bad. And right before St. Patrick's Day too. That's pretty rough. Okay, one last weld on this corner. This is allowing the thing to cool off too, which is nice. Can't pick up the rod with gloves on. All right, here we go. Yep, just as bad as the other one. I didn't get good adhesion to this side in the middle there. See, that's not real great. If you're looking at it real close, there's some areas where I kind of didn't. I bet you if you sawed that apart, it wouldn't look real good on the inside. Now, where's my giant hammer? Did I lose the thing? Where'd it go? Those are small hammers. Don't know where it went. All right, well, I can't find the giant hammer. We're gonna have to use this hammer. I'll just hit it up here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's probably strong enough. All right, so progress. Weld number 1 looks like garbage. Weld number 2, a little less like garbage, but still not great. Weld number 3, I think, is this one? I don't know. Weld number 4, still also not great, but not as bad as the first one. Progress. That's what I call progress. Don't know where my giant hammer went. Kind of bummed. Gonna have to go find that. I've only been working for 2 months. That's not good. Let's see. Don't have to lose your jobs to get badge for the golden mallet. Yeah, I wish I knew where that thing went. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Of course I missed it. It was hiding in plain sight. There it is. Okay, time for one last test, I suppose. Okay, I think it's good. That's why they make grinders. That's right. Oh, magnet. Yeah, magnet to the glove fingers. That sounds good. All teachers and kids are off. That's too bad. You're getting bored. Well, this is probably not the place for you. There are probably more interesting people to watch. Mechanical engineering. That's good. Oh yeah. Running in for 3 positions at Boeing. Ooh, that's rough. Boeing is hurting now after the 737 MAX thing and the Starliner having problems and then grounding all the planes. That's rough. Flues on his base. That's not good. You think it'll stick? Yeah, it better stick. If it doesn't stick, I'll just take the MIG welder and just booger all over the top of it until it does stick. That's how you MIG weld, right? Doing 3 welds before welding what you want. Probably. Sounded solid. Yeah, it was a good solid clank. Under the van, you're gonna get excited. I don't have anything. Well, I'm not under the van. The only thing under the van is my car jack. I'm gonna risk flipping the camera around, people. See the van? The only thing under there is the car jack. I still haven't jacked it back up yet. You know, I think everything got out. All right. Yeah, I'll grinder that in a minute. So with these pieces, what I have to do, I got this. This I think is 2x1, 1/4 inch. And these are like 2x3 or 2x3.5 or something, 1/4 inch. And they have to go on here like that. One on this side, one on that side. And between them will be a 1/2 inch because the bead roller, which is over there, is made, the main body of it, the blue part, is cut out of a 1/2 inch thick chunk of steel. So, do I just weld it up and hope that the thing will fit? Or do I like weld up one side and then stick it on the bead roller and then weld up the other side so the fitment goes? What do you think? What do you think? Doing, let's see, I'm way behind in the chat. Yes, 7 grinders and 1 welder. I have 2 grinders. What are you actually welding that for? It is a stand for my bead roller. Thought you cleaned your garage. Yeah, well the thing is, you clean to make room and then you fill that room with stuff. I could move stuff out of the way pretty easily. Visible floor is a transient condition. Ain't that the truth? That is true. Pouring shank. You think it will shrink when it cools? Yeah, you see, that's what I'm worried about. I really don't want it to shrink that much. Like, if I could, I have some extra 1/4 inch stock here. I'm thinking like maybe I'll stick 2 of these in between, and then maybe a piece of sheet metal and stuff just to make sure the gap in there is a little bit over a 1/2 inch, and then leave those jammed in as it cools, so that when I hammer these things out, the gap will be that big or small or a little bigger. Add some cardstock. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Cardstock for this. Maybe harder to get off the bead roller if we weld in place. Yeah, that's true. Shim weld the other. Okay. Okay, so that I think that's what I'm gonna do. Make it too wide, then smash it with the golden hammer to size. That is an option. That is indeed an option. Welding on a 12 millimeter steel. Wow, that's pretty thick. That's thick. That's like, this is like 7. Isn't a quarter inch like 7 mil? A little under 7 mil, something like that. Leave the inside fillets to last. Okay, so the thing with that is, with these in place the way they are, there's only gonna be a ½ inch in there. So I'm not even gonna weld the inside fillets. I'm just gonna weld on the outside, and then bolts will go through these holding it in. Is that reckless? I mean, it's not like they're load bearing. They're just like, they're keeping the bead roller from tipping to either side. Don't think inside fillets are possible. See, that's what I thought. I mean, like, I could have ground like a really. I only ground a little bit of a fillet there, a little bit of a V, whatever, to fill with weld. I could have done like really deep, but I don't really care. Like, I could probably just tack weld the thing on and it would hold forever. Okay, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. If they're not strong enough, they'll be the first to know. Yeah. You don't need it strong, you can just butt weld it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so where did I put my weld clamps? Weld clamps. How square are the Harbor Freight weld clamps anyway? Like, can I trust the square edge to actually be square? You're watching someone weld as you are welding. That's true dedication to the art right there. Drill and tap a lot of stuff now. Yeah. Just realized, yes. Inside fillet might be possible. Stick welding, but sparks and smoke. I still have some sticks. If you remember, special guest Dan brought some sticks. I forget what kind of sticks. You can trust anything. Awesome. Good to know. That didn't sound ominous at all. And I'm sure I paid a whole like $1.50 for them. How can they possibly be wrong? Cook your rods before you use them. You mean like what? The sticks? The stick welding sticks? You want me to cook them? 6011, yes. Ben Tomb's got to go. We'll see you later. How's the van project going? Not quickly. Weld the outside ends. They're laser cut. They're fine. Okay. So there we go. Just gonna. I'll probably tack there, and then. Bzzz. 6011 and 7013. Okay. I can actually check. Here they are on the weld card. I'm seeing, looks like 6013. They're all 6013s. That's what I got. I did try these, but I haven't really since. It's mostly the smoke. I'm indoors here. I mean, I got the garage door open, but indoors. Open corner joint, please. 6013 is almost all I use. That's good. Cook the rods to drive the moisture out. That's interesting. Huh. Need more gingery videos. Yeah, I'll get to that. Probably after I make these stands. I've cleared space on another table over there for that project. That's another thing I want to get done. Like I wanted to blaze through the oven, that heat treat oven, and that's done. Like it works and it's complete now. So then I just wanted to do this to get the crap off the floor, and then I want to get to the gingery lathe and then kind of burn through that until it's done, just like I did with the oven. Get funny pinholes. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. Hate typing in a cracked phone screen. If you could see my phone screen, you would know I feel your pain. Okay, so time to do this joint. How am I gonna hold this? Like that? Maybe? It's not really being held all that well. There we go, that's kind of holding it. Okay, gonna tack. Gloves. Gloves. That looks iffy. Yeah. Where the connecting rods and saw blades at. You know, I don't have any connecting rods laying around. They're all inside my engines. I don't have a sweet, awesome garage full of old school junk to weld up into cool looking stuff like some people cone. Seriously jealous of your new garage, by the way. There, well, come and get them. I wish I could. So this joint is a really, really tight fitment, and I just held the electrode much closer, and it was like a piece of cake. So, you know, not bad. I like that. So I have a whole bunch of the steel filler rod, but anyone think I should grab the bronze one and try to braze it? What do you think? I've already showed I can't weld. Might as well try the harder thing. How brazen? Oh, I'm very brazen. Brazing rod right here. Just doing the brazing rod, like looking at pictures of things that are TIG brazed with bronze is like 90% the reason that I bought a TIG welder, if I'm honest. I've already showed I can't weld. Let's braze. Gonna clean off this brazing rod though. Don't braze it. You have rod and torch all set up with crappy welding. Not braze. Well, you're gonna watch me with crappy brazing now. It's a two for one, double feature. I can suck at everything equally around here. Actually, you know what? I don't think I can braze. Well, that got off to a rough start. Rough start over here. A little less rough over there. Still looks bad though. Huh. Bet you this is gonna fail to whack it with a hammer test. Actually, no. It's ugly, but I just hammered it a lot. Huh. Okay, maybe I can braise. It's just ugly. Interesting. And look at the cool colors on that. GM quality control standards. Got that right. There was a GM plant in my town that's closed down and tore down, and the rubble has been shipped away. But yeah, not sure I'd want a car built in that factory. From what I heard, a bunch of my friends do. Don't want to melt the base metal, just get enough. Get an orange hot in the joint. Whoa. Yeah, that's what I did. At least that's what I think I did. I think over here I just wasn't getting it hot enough. Or something. I don't know. I'll grind away my shame later on that one. So we're gonna do a couple pieces here. I need one more little shim to shim this up. Let me just look around at my pile. There's a sheet. I need a clamp. Clamps! Clamps. Never in short supply in my garage. So, while I let that cool off, might just switch back to welding. Not so much with the brazing. Brazing inside corner will definitely hold. Yeah, I could do that. I think I'm just gonna get I don't know, a bunch of scrap and just practice rip plastic tips. The plastic tips tear on those things anyway. They're not very good. You need a Clamp Champ shirt. I should. You know, people keep saying, make merchandise. I want to buy a t-shirt. Like, I want a t-shirt too, but I don't know. I'd feel really weird, especially like if I saw someone wearing them. That would be really strange. I think I have sufficiently decaffeinated myself. I'm not shaking enough. Brazing isn't a great plan, especially without a bevel. Yeah, I think you're right, because there's no bevel at all on this. It's like straight. I mean, I think there might be like a 32nd of an inch bevel. Maybe it should say champ clamp in clamps. Like you got C clamp for the C and the C, and like other kind of clamps. And then just surrounded by a sea of spring clamps. I think a spring clamp would make a good A as well. Glad to catch a live show. Hello, Uncle Buck's Forge. Braze is surface to surface like glue. Yeah. I don't think I had the right joint preparation for that. Also, I suck at welding. I'm not sure which one is worse. Okay, time for the tack welds. Those are very, very tiny tack welds, but they hold. They hold, I think. Back to the steel rod. Okay, bead time. Where'd the pedal go? Whoa. Okay, that one quickly turned into a hot mess. Very, very quickly turned into a hot mess. It's all gross colored. Gross. What if you put a gap between the pieces? That would probably help. Then you'd have full penetration. That's true. Tried setting up your TIG welder to run stick. I've tried it once. Only once. Well, twice. Tried it twice. Filler angle is a bit too vertical. Okay, like, yeah. I think I know what you're saying. Gap between the tongues and it still got away from you. Yes. Yes, indeed, it did. And by the time I realized that it was like way too far. It was like 3/8 of an inch. Shove a stick electrode in your TIG torch and still use your pedal. My welder, it came with whatever that's called. The stinger, the thing that holds the stick in it. I mean, I've tried it. I'm just not good at it. Okay, well, I can set this aside to cool off for a while because that got overheated like crazy. Always easier to notice if someone else doing it. Yeah, that is true. The thing is, there's so many people, there's like so many welding videos on YouTube, and a lot of the people doing them, at least the welding videos I watch, the people doing them are like so far above me in skill level, there's no chance. If you weld faster, it'd be less gross color. Yeah, probably. So I think they're supposed to come out with a cool color, right? Blackened means it got way too hot, I think. If I remember the heat treat coloring, like straw, it goes like straw, then purple, then blue, then light blue, and then eventually it goes kind of blackish, and that's real gross. If I remember right anyway. The angles weren't too bad. Keeping the arc tight is important. Yeah, my arc was not tight there. It was real bad. Real bad. Very gross. So where'd that other part go? Here. So the two things I just made is they go on either end of this. The legs on one end and the clamp thing on the other end of this big honking, pretty thick, I think this is 1x2, which has already got all kinds of crap on it. Awesome. So how am I going to weld these on? Melting stuff together into lumps that can be machined into tolerable. That would be nice. If I could machine stuff. Just practice and it'll start coming together. Yeah, I think that's probably the main thing. It's the main thing I lack is practice, the muscle memory. I never developed the muscle memory. Whoops, and then what little I had went away. from lack of practice. There we go. Just going to try to get the other things set up now. Don't know how on earth I'm going to get this straight. Because these clamps definitely don't have the strength. And again, maybe they do. Matthias, what are you making? I'm making a stand for my bead roller, which I will... My goal kind of is to get these stands for my tools. I also want to make one for a bead roller, make one for the English wheel, make one for the metal brake, and then one for the shrinker stretcher. And once I get those done, I will use them to make some cool add-ons out of sheet metal for the stands, and then use them for, for projects. Weld everything together with MIG. Would like to get a TIG soon. TIG, I think TIG is fancy, but I'm not good enough. I'm just not good enough at it. Hello from Italy, Martina. Hello. Hope all is well there. I hope you're staying safe. I don't know what it's really like in Italy, but the news says Italy is not having a good time right now. Thought I was holding fine. Turned out to be my gloves. Fell down and broke a window. Yikes. Yikes. That does not sound fun. Broke a window. Okay, so I'm going to weld this in place. I'm just going to tack along the back here. You can't see, but I got more of them back here, the magnets. I'm just going to kind of tack a couple over here. As long as I don't bonk it with my helmet. Clumsy helmet. All right, this is going to be interesting to try to do. So welders, you have to kind of be contortionists, right? USA going to be like Italy in a couple of weeks, if not worse. That's what I've heard. I mean, I don't think we have as many old people per capita as Italy, but we have I think we have a lot more fatter people with heart disease, so that might be a problem. Okay. All right, let me see if I can do this. Left-handed. You might not be able to see this, I'm sorry. Huh, that did not tack. Okay, I gotta do this with filler rod. There, that did it. You need to go. Okay, we'll see you later, Chirpy. Thanks for stopping by. To blast it with a lot of current. Okay, so I'm kind of slowly ramping up. I just need to, like, peg it, right? Is that what you're saying? Just like stomp the thing. I mean, well, it's tacked. Fosket, hello, hi. Gonna try to do a bead here. Well, that didn't work at all. I think I might have to break out the MIG, because I just suck. Use like 1.5 times the current and floor it. Interesting. There, I just booger welded the crap out of that. I'm not sure it's possible enough to make a dumpier looking weld than I just made. But let's give it a shot on this side too. Wonder if like tipping the thing would make it easier. You know, like that. So I'm welding down into a crease instead of on the side. I'm gonna give that a shot. Once the thing cools down, because I think it's getting kind of hot. For inside corners, more stick out. Is there much smoke with TIG as there is with MIG? No, TIG is much less smoky. Can always walk the cup inside corners. Yep. If I was skilled enough to walk the cup, then yes, you could. In theory, but not me. I'll give it a shot though, I suppose. Well, definitely dipped the tungsten there. That was gross. That was gross indeed. Looks like it's adhering reasonable enough though. Do a practice run without welding. I've heard of that. You know, you just to make sure you can actually like move across the whole thing without the hose binding up on you or something, right? So how's everybody else doing? Looks good from here. Yep, closed eyes. It looks perfect. There, I'm going to set it up like that. Run in here, run the torch across. Filler rod up here. I need to grab a new filler rod. Gonna have to clean up this filler rod now, though. It'll look fine at floor level. That's right. It'll be out of sight. I won't have to look at it. So I'm gonna take a brief acetone break here. Now, my wife told me something interesting, that they use acetone as nail polish remover. Like, you want to put that thing on your skin and, like, all over your hands and your face and stuff. Seems like it would just dry the crap out of all of your skin, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm no cosmetic whatever person, but still, rest your hand on the vise or something. Yeah, figuring out where to rest my hand is kind of an issue. Human body produces a small amount of acetone. That's crazy. Very odd. $30 hand cream. Yeah. They don't dunk their hands in it. That's true, I suppose. If it holds, it holds. Well, there's going to be so much weld boogered up on there, it's definitely gonna hold. And if it doesn't, I'll grab the MIG welder and just really booger it up. Greetings from the UK. Hello, John Milton. Real bench with same mess as normal people. That's right. Nail polish remover, mostly acetone, has some other stuff in it too. Interesting. You know, I was talking to Powers about that, and he says his lab, one of their standard practices is to wash their hands with acetone afterwards. Like, how much cancer is that going to give you? Wash hands with soap and water. Yeah, I suppose like it's not gonna like leach into your body, right? Through your skin. And this isn't California. Means you can't steal it for other stuff. Ah, bummer. So that other stuff will contaminate the steel. You couldn't use nail polish remover to like clean off your welds. Just mild cancer, as long as it's mild. Hello from New York, Jack Hammer. Whereabouts in New York? Are you in the city or somewhere else? I lived in Binghamton for a few years. Well, not Binghamton, but close. Like within those few cities, I was in Endicott. People use it on their hands all the time. Yeah, I guess. But people are more than willing to get cancer for beauty, that is for sure. And for how long do people just plaster like lead all over their face? You know, one thing I've noticed with acetone, you get that crap on your hands, it shows you exactly where your paper cuts are, 100% of the time. Other stuff will mess with welds and stuff. Bummer. So how about this? Do people who weld who also wear nail polish, do they just grab this stuff to clean off their nails because it's prevalent? Been to Binghamton many times. Nice. I do not know where that is. Paper cut detection fluid. Yes. Yes, indeed. The lab better provide free $30 hand moisturizer. I'm not sure it does. Washing your hands? Why would you wash your hands in diesel? That sounds horrifying. All right, speaking of horrifying, let's go right back to this weld here. Bonka went, oh no. Oh no, dunking your hands in acetone? Beats being covered in tar. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. And diesel would definitely take tar off. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do a longie across here. Dutchess County, 70 miles away from the city. Wash your hands in diesel every day. Does that ever give you like a headache or something? Okay, I'm gonna do this. Pray for me, everybody. Going in. Doing my trial run. Huh. Guess who's the idiot who forgot to put the ground clamp on there? That might explain why it doesn't work. There we go. Okay, only went part way. Gotta readjust. My hose is binding up on me. Well, that looks terrible. Terrible, terrible. I'll fix it later, though. Not a firm believer in pointed tungstens. Well, it was pointed when I started. I'm just gonna do this last little bit, and then I'm gonna grinder it and move on. Probably grinder after the stream, though. Abandon the tungsten. It'll work. Yeah, it'll work. They don't need to always be pointy. Alrighty. Grind away your shame. Okay, last little bit, and then I will change the tungsten. I think I have a half a dozen or so ready to go. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's probably the least bad of all of these welds. See? That one's the least bad. Still pretty bad. Now I gotta readjust some stuff here. Okay, now it's freestanding. I'm gonna try to collect my thoughts here. Put your tungsten in your cordless drill, spin it while on the grinder. That is what I do. Yes, that is a great tip. Don't grind so the wheel embeds in the tungsten. Justin on the fabrication series is a great set of videos. I think I've watched those. Watched them a long time ago, though. I should revisit that. Do it by hand. Don't like spiral scratches. You mean like you sharpen the tungsten by hand? Because I usually wait till I'm about out, and then I just kind of run through them, you know, go through it like crazy. Because I have a disc for that I use only for tungsten, so I keep them separate from all my other discs. So it was a clean disc, tungsten only, and yeah, TIG not possible if you don't have somewhere to rest your hand on. Yeah, that would make it. It makes it easier if you have a place to rest your hand on. When I just did there, the better one, I was resting my arm on something. Is Endicott where Doug's Fish Fry is? I don't know. When I lived there, I was way too broke to eat out. Spin it slow enough in the drill and you won't get a spiral. I haven't sharpened them in a long time. I do, I think I do get spiral scratches, actually, come to think of it, if I look closely. I'll grab one of the clean ones here. Don't know if this will show up very well. Is that showing up? It kind of looks like it's got some spirally scratches, doesn't it? I mean, I know this doesn't really have a macro camera, does it? No? I don't want to touch the thing with my filthy hands. I think I can see spiral scratches though, like what you guys are talking about. Lead to fuzzy arc, yeah. One of welding tips and tricks, TIG fingers. You mean like this one that I haven't taken out of the box yet? I haven't, I bought this a long time ago. It was on like a sale or something. So how does this thing work anyway? Do you just like this, like stick your finger in there? Right? You just kind of stick that in there. So as you're beating, you're sliding your pinky on this, right? Or do you put both of these like this? Right? Torch thing, and then you eat, boop, 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 like that. Yes? That would be it. Awesome. Ceramic wool for your fingers. That's right. This thing feels pretty beefy too, actually. I'm impressed. TIG finger heat shield. Neat. I don't know that I'll be needing this at the moment. I don't know if this will be practical. But who knows? So where did that other bit go? There we go. I'm just going to leave all those things clamped up in there. And this goes on top. Right, yes. On top there. And then I just weld around it. What could possibly go wrong? Does anyone get that reference? What could possibly go wrong? Neat. Yep. Neat indeed. Weld order again, opposite sides to avoid pulling things out. Would it work if I tigged? If I tack on this side, then tack on that side, and then do welding around it? Would the tacks help prevent the warping? I'm definitely going to change this tungsten because it looks garbage. Like, look at that. That is gross. Tack all the things. Yeah, I'd check that fit now. Okay. Tack one side, then hammer back into square, then tack again. That is as bad as it gets. Just snap the snot off. Haven't watched in ages. Ford Smith gained so many subscribers. Thank you. Yes, I gained quite a bit in the middle of summer with the Project Egress thing. That was my biggest boost. MIG weld most of the day. I MIG weld most of the time that I weld, but this is just a unique experience for me. Getting some time to do something that isn't really critical, so I thought I'd TIG anyway. The heat treat oven is impressive. Thank you. I'm pretty happy with it. I found out why that the thermocouple was the wrong setting. So it came with a Type K thermocouple, and it came set for a Type K thermocouple, but in order to turn on the cone fire feature, I had to do a reset on it, like a default reset on the controller itself, and then I could go in and turn on the cone fire programs. And when I did the reset, it reset to not a Type K thermocouple. And I didn't check it because it only had a Type K when I got it. What kind of welder are you using? I'm using an AHP Alpha TIG 200X. Project Egress. What about Project Gingery? I'm gonna get back into that probably in a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna try to burn straight through it until I'm done with it, like I did with the oven, heat treat oven. Paul's oven is nicer than the one this old Tony just bought. Is it? I actually haven't seen the one this old Tony just bought. I know mine can do heat treating and pottery and meatloaf and whatever I feel like, in whatever atmosphere I feel like, but it does look pretty ugly. I still haven't made a new shell for it yet. Oops. But it works beautifully well. I'm really happy with how well it works. So default is not Type K. Yeah, even though it came out of the box from the manufacturer, I bought it from the manufacturer, it came out of the box, set for Type K, with a Type K thermocouple. It only ships with a Type K thermocouple, but default is not Type K. I don't understand. The meatloaf is the best feature. I have not tried making meatloaf on it, but I could program it to sit at 375 exactly for like 45 minutes, and it would be no problem. You see, an oven, oven like in my kitchen, those cycle up or down, and this cycles on and off too. It cycles up and down, but it cycles up and down like within 1 degree. But whereas your kitchen oven, older ones can cycle up and down like 20, 30 degrees. Even newer ones can do 20 degrees, cycle up and down. The really tight ones are like 10, you know, plus or minus 5, a gap of 10. They're not as tight cycling as this one here. And I can tell it to heat up to whatever and cool off at whatever rate and hold at whatever I want it to. Like I could perfect the oven baked meatloaf if I want. Tax help. What other types are there? You've only heard of K. There are 4 that this controller supports, and I don't know what they are. There's like S and R and P or something. Sous vide for roasting meat. I've heard of that. Slow cook that meatloaf. I've heard of that. Never tried it, but I've heard of it. So I'm going to try tacking this. Paul Frederick said check fitment. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing, and you'll have to tell me if it's horrifically flawed or not. So you see there's you're really right up close and personal. The cut was straight, but then I tried putting like a bevel on it. Come on, focus. I can't make it focus. Okay, well I tried cutting a bevel on it. I ended up like screwing up the corners a bit. But I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. YOLO, as they say, right? Is that what the young kids are saying these days? The cool kids? I don't know. I mean, obviously, right? How would I know what cool kids are saying? Thermocouple, JKT, E, N, R, S, and B. That's hot. I'm even gonna sit while I do this. I don't have a chair here, I have a shop vac, but that's close enough. Here we go. Wait. Ground clamp. Did it again. Did it again. Okay, those are tacked. I used a little filler rod too. Okay, and it's lifting slightly. Your wife's oven right now. Huh. Whoop. Well, that tack's not very good. And last but not least, and I'll be right back with you. What is wrong with my foot pedal? There we go. Ah. Well, so much for the pointy tungsten. All right, and I'm back. What did I miss? You missed a couple of really bad tack welds if you're joining me here. Convection oven, okay. HDPE. Not sure what's going on. Making some pulley wheels for your lathe. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Add some amps. Yeah, so something got under it, so I have the foot pedal. I don't have the nice rocking foot pedal. I have this thing, and a thing got under here, so I was pushing it down all the way, but there was like a pole stuck in there because my floor is not clean. All right, but you were correct. You were correct, sir. That was a bit cold. So, time to run now. I have this thing leaning. I'm gonna run here, a bead there. Gotta run. Okay, we'll see you later, Jack. Thanks for stopping by. Mash the pedal and move fast. A little bit of undercut, but not too terrible. Let me flip it around. Whoops. All right, I'll let it cool down. Run the bead towards yourself. I usually try right to left. So another question I have for people. Do you ever flip torch hands? See what I do, I'm using torch hand. My right hand is my torch hand. Left hand is filler rod hand. I don't know, I'm right-handed generally, so I don't know if I'm supposed to do one or the other. I assume you're probably supposed to get decent at both. But I've always used heat in my right hand, filler in my left hand. That's how I learned how to solder. Do circuit board solder? I always hold the soldering iron in my right, solder in my left. You're supposed to be able to weld with either hand. Yeah, I think I've heard that, but like, I just find it really easy to torch in the right every time. Always torch in the right. I mean, I should try flipping back and forth, but like, maybe I should figure out how to do it one way correctly before I throw other variables at me. Torch in the right is easier though. Okay, so I'm not the weird one there. That's good. How am I going to position this thing? You learn one way, then expand. Okay. So I'm just going to try to learn to do it torch in the right, and when I can actually do that, then I'll try to learn on the left. If you don't weld for a living, it's not so important. Solder with iron on the right side, solder in left. Okay. So I'm not the only one there. I'm a lot better at soldering than I am at welding, that's for sure. But I have to solder at work. Like, because we do a lot of circuit board repair. So, like, that's a skill that I have to be halfway decent at. And I mean, I do that a lot more because I do that very frequently. And I weld probably like every 3 months I'll weld something together. And it's usually MIG because MIG is easier. And all the welding that I've done on this van has been MIG welding. Only MIG the whole time. Never TIGged anything on there. See, I hear TIG welding is better if you're doing sheet metal, because then you can form the sheet metal afterwards, because MIG welds get stiff. They get brittle. But I just can't do it. I can't TIG weld sheet steel. You would not switch hands. Too old to learn new tricks. All right. Circuit board repair is quite the skill. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed really easy, but I learned how to do it when I was a teenager. I think I was like 12 or 13 when I first started doing it. So I think I started young and I had more practice at it. Like, I had more practice at soldering circuit boards when I was 13 than I have welding total my whole life. And I solder a lot more. So soldering circuit boards is just more natural to me. But I don't feel like doing that in the garage right now. Plus, I don't own a soldering setup. Like, I'd have to swipe the solder station out of my work truck, which I guess is parked here, so I could. But I just don't feel like it. Eventually, I will be, though. I'll be building a circuit board, an engine-controlled circuit board called Mega Squirt, but that's in the future. Long in the future. Pulled many a trace off the board. Through hole is the easiest. Yeah, I think so. Trace repair is kind of an issue. Brazing is kind of like soldering. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think soldering is so much lower temperature, and it's just, I don't know. I find it much easier. But a circuit board is usually cleaner than filthy mill scaled up steel, unless the circuit board really had something bad. Like, we've seen some pretty serious circuit board problems. And, it's like one of those things where, like, the circuit board like blew a crater in the thing, and the circuit board is not available, and they're like, I don't want to replace it, please do whatever, just fix it. Like, okay, I'll try. Thing already has a crater in it, can't be worse than this. So you gotta sit there and like try to fix the thing. And yeah, that's always fun. Everything can Mega Squirt, you're putting electronics in a super soaker. No, look it up. It's DIYautotune.com. I enjoyed fixing my Mega Squirt. What broke on your Mega Squirt, Cone, if I can ask? And Cone, they make a Mega Squirt kit that's bolt in and basically like plug in to a Windsor V8, an EFI Windsor V8. Like, they'll even send you the plug and everything. So you just connect it up. Comes with like startup maps, and you just kind of plug the sucker in, and you already have a baseline, like a get you started kind of map. I assume it's a get you started map for like a stock Mustang Windsor 302. Had a cap explode. Yikes. Sometimes those things are like firecrackers. Gotta go, good luck. Thank you for stopping by. Piran, is that how you say that? Piran? I don't know. I saw one capacitor, it looked like the thing just shot all the crap out one end like a firecracker. Pretty impressive looking, I gotta say. You know, it's got a protection diode. Gotta go. Okay. Yeah, there's I've seen some diodes explode. Usually when we see a circuit board with a diode that blew up, there's other problems, and it's not, you can't just like change the diode. Microwaves too. There's a big diode in a microwave connects the capacitor to ground, and like if the diode's shorted, if the diode's screwed up, either the capacitor or the magnetron's screwed up. So just changing the diode ain't gonna do it. If you're gonna change one or the other, you change the diode too. When are you gonna do some casting? Don't you have to work a merge? You mean a forge to work with molten metal? Yes. An urge to work with molten metal. Yeah. Speaking of that, let me get my camera flipped around. Take a look at what I just got. A pile of motors for material for casting. So yeah, it's coming. I'm just trying to do more project focused. Like I didn't have to do any casting for the oven, but I will have to do some more castings for the gingery lathe because I don't have all of them. I got most of them, but I will have to break it out for that. Wow, yeah, that's like it's like 20 motors, 20 motors and 2 transmissions. The transmissions have a lot of cast iron. The motors are, the shells are die cast aluminum A380, I believe, and the center part is all like the insulated copper wiring, so I don't bother with that. We give that to an old guy, retired guy who breaks them up. But A380 aluminum's not the best, but it's, you know, it's free. And yes, they are all burnt. I think like 2 of them have like burned up plugs and switches and stuff, but most of them, the bearings are burned up. So most of them, like the bearings are shot or the windings are shorted, so they'll start and they'll make a lot of racket, or they'll overheat in like 5 minutes and shut off from because there's a thermal limiter on them. So yeah, those are all toast. The transmissions, the 2 transmissions have broke gears in them, so they're toast. I think I have one or 2 motors where the motor is okay, but something else fried on them, like the shaft stripped on one side if it was a dual-sided shaft, or the something. One of the motors has a circuit board attached to it, and the circuit board fried, and you can't buy just the circuit board. You got to buy the whole motor. So I have that motor too, and one of those is probably going to power the gingery lathe when I'm done. One of those 2, but the ones in the pile down here, they're all toast. They're all toast. A lot of copper there, yeah, but it's all insulated, so I'd have to strip them, and there really isn't a lot of copper. It'd be a lot of work. Okay, I'm gonna try to weld this one right here. I'm gonna try to take your advice and prop my hand somewhere, maybe. Like, I can kind of prop my right hand here on the vise. That's nice. You'll never get to repair that. I'll say this. I will get it fixed and back on the road. I will never get it finished. Can you just burn the wire into a fire? Not if I get caught. That is illegal. But no, I'm never going to be finished with the van. Do you ever finish projects, or do you just stop at some point? All right, prop in my hand. I actually don't like this angle. Hang on, gonna rethink. Bit of a rethink. There we go. Can use a vise. Never finish any finish, stop, same thing. Yeah, I suppose. Scrapyards give less money for burnt copper. Yeah, that's what I've heard. We don't. I don't even sell it. I throw it all in a huge bucket and give it to this guy. He takes all of our scrap metal from work and he takes it to his father-in-law, who's an old retired guy, and he likes breaking them up for the metal, and then he sells them for scrap or something. I really don't know. It's not even like a job. He's retired. He just does it to like do stuff. You know, you gotta have something to do, right? So that's what he does. So we say, fine, if you come and take it and just get it out of our way, you can have it. We don't care what you do with it. So yeah, that's what we do. Finish stopping at a predetermined point. Yeah, I guess. I mean, scope creep is probably going to eat me alive on that van, but if I never finish it, then I never go out and buy another project car and I don't end up wasting a bunch of money, right? All right, so I'm going to try this. I'm going to try, okay, camera, where's my framing? There it is. There's the thing. Here's the thing, like this. I'm going to start here. I'm going to prop this hand here and work across. Wow, I'm shaking pretty bad. Maybe coffee will fix that. Okay. Woo! Caffeine power. Ground clamp. Drink more coffee. You got it. Okay. Shaking bad. Yep. Coffee helps you weave. That's right. It's the auto weave feature. Just drink a whole bunch of coffee and okay, here we go. Okay. Do my practice run. Yeah, I'm gonna prop this hand up on the ground clamp. Wow, that went way easier than the other way. Just think, all I had to do was get in a comfortable, convenient position, and it was way easier. And I had both hands propped. Wow. Why didn't I do that every time? Weird. That's right. Weird. All right, just for kicks, I'm gonna grind this sucker down and see what it looks like. Need my hearing protection for this though. All right, everyone, plug your ears. Cool. Oh, you gotta check this out. Okay, flip camera, other camera. Check that out. I got some crap up here, which is, I believe that's probably related to the horrible braze joint, right? And then my weld joint down here. Can't really see that joint so much. I really don't know what that gap there is all about. It doesn't look good. It's not making me happy, but the TIG weld, oh, you can kind of see here. You can see where it lines up. So there's the weld joint, and there's the braze joint. Bug holes. Yeah, I don't like those holes. They make me sad. I'm just gonna ignore that and move on with my life. But I still, as much as that braze joint sucks, and I don't know what I'm doing, that little gold streak makes me want to braze everything forever. Maybe something started boiling. Where those are, I saw some. It looked almost like the weld here was actually like interacting with the braze, like it was the weld puddle was melting the braze bead, and they were kind of mixing, which is probably not a good thing because you don't want to melt the steel into the bronze. But still, that's cool. That is cool. I didn't weld the front and the back, but I got the sides. That's probably enough. Here, hang on. Where's my golden hammer? We're gonna test it. All right, ready? Oh, that cracked my braze joint. Wah wah. Oh well, it's fine. Oh no, it's not fine. That is definitely not fine. Okay, hang on. I can fix this. All right. Looks like I'm going to be grinding that off and welding it instead of brazing it. Womp womp. Let's see. Let's get our thing back. There we go. Hang on. Camera. There we go. Grind it and MIG it. That sounds like a fantastic idea. I think that's what I'm going to do. What time is it? Is it 6:30 yet? Oh, it's 7:15. Wow. So I think I have to go now because it is about dinner time. My wife's going to yell at me if I'm gone for too much longer. But let's get this on the ground. I'll grind that and MIG it later. So in the meantime, no, flip around. Look at the other thing. There it is sitting on the ground. Has the T legs going back up, and that's where that's going to go. And remember, the bolts there are going to go up there. And because that giant motor is hanging off the back, it's going to be tail heavy. So the center of gravity isn't going to be over the front. It's going to be back a ways. And that's going to be back here. So it's not going to want to tip backwards or forwards, although if it is, I'll just add like a little bit jutting out the front. And I'm thinking of also adding like a brace here and then having like things poking out of it for my my bead roller dies, because the bead roller dies currently are over on that pegboard over there. So if I hang the bead roller dies off a thing on the back, or I might just like have them sticking off, like put a couple of bolts through here sticking out and just stick the bead roller dies on there. Just something. Center of gravity with a big sheet of metal on it. Yeah, something like out the back just to make sure it never falls forward. So, yep. Oh, here. Can I see my penetration with that braze joint? None. There's no penetration there. Awesome. But the weld joint held fine. That's okay. The porcupine. Yeah, porcupine. That way, if I fall into it, I get like 8 puncture wounds instead of just the 1. Save a lot of time there. Come on. Switch back. There we go. Okay, so that's all I have time for today. Thanks for stopping by and watching me weld and fail at brazing and then break my creation immediately with a hammer. So that was fun. Hopefully we'll be back on video schedule this week. And I hope everybody has a good week. Stay safe. Wash your hands and all that stuff. Don't lick people in the nose who are coughing and all that good stuff. So I'll see you later. Bye. What? Tell my parents that 3 pairs of sunglasses are okay for welding. I don't think I can say that. I'm not entirely sure that's true. All right. I will see y'all later. Thanks for coming by.